So you want to start a hijab, abaya, jilbab, or modest clothing company, or to be honest, any other business for that matter. But you've only got a little bit of money to start with. In this situation, what I recommend you do, find a business that's near you somewhere that's selling unbranded products similar to what you want to sell and invest into in the future. And simply take those products and arbitrage them. Arbitrage is when you purchase a product and then you sell it for more. In reality, every single business does this. So there's nothing wrong with it at all, provided that it's not a branded product. So in the UK, for example, we have markets, and there are markets that sell hijabs, abayas, jilbabs. Now, they might not be the best quality and they're definitely not branded. So using your little bit of money that you have, purchasing these products and then making content with these products, you could package it in a slightly different way, slightly better way, and promote them online and make it available to your customers and your followers that might not have otherwise found that product. And the reason this is a good model to start with is because you would have built an audience for yourself that will eventually be there ready to buy your product when you invest into your own products. So the minute you actually do save up enough money to buy your own stock, you will already have an audience that's ready to buy that product. But you just have to make sure that the audience you've built is the same audience that's going to be interested in the product that you're about to invest into, by making sure that that's the initial product you kind of started selling them in the first place, or at least keep it so that it's a very similar audience and they would be interested. For example, if I'm starting with hijabs, I could move on to abayas and jilbabs and other modest clothing pieces. However, what you can't do is start by selling like phone cases and teacups and then suddenly move on to like abayas and jilbabs. So make sure whatever business you plan to start in the future and invest into is the same products you're trying to start with in the first place. Not only does this model enable you to build your audience and build an audience that's ready to buy your product when you do invest into these products, it also allows you to develop your sales skills, your marketing skills, your photography skills, your videography skills, and content creation and social media skills in general. Now, in the beginning, you don't need a website. Many businesses start on social media by taking orders through DMs or private messages. And when it comes to payments, you can accept payments through PayPal, bank transfer. You could even open a Stripe account and kind of get ahead and prepare yourself for when you do have a website eventually. Whether you have money or you don't, starting a business in this way is much less risky. And this brings me on to the other point of why this business model is so perfect to start with. Because yes, you do have people that have money and they will take money and they will invest into massive amounts of products. They'll perfect the product, they'll perfect the website, they'll perfect the branding, they'll perfect the marketing, they'll invest into marketing. They might even hire staff and get an office or a warehouse, only to find out that the market is not really ready for their product, or their target customer just isn't interested in that particular product. And then they've invested hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands into everything, into pretty much the whole business. So making a business all perfect before you launch is actually a really risky thing to do. And you only learn this after being in business for many, many years. So don't worry, you can take your orders through DMs. I took my orders through DMs up until we were making about £10,000 a month before I began to even think about building a website. And I only thought about building a website simply because we couldn't handle accepting the orders. It was just getting too busy in there. So yes, automating to a website later on is a great idea, but first test out the market, test out your products, test out your skills, and see if you're even interested in pursuing the business in the first place. So the key to starting with very little money is ensuring that you take that money that you make from any sales and put it aside and keep it completely separate. Do not spend that money and just keep reinvesting into new stock over and over again. And what's going to happen is eventually it's going to snowball and your pot is going to grow more and more and more until you can actually invest in purchasing a massive wholesale order. So for example, if you've got £3, there are markets out there that are selling hijabs for £3. There are markets that are selling hijabs for £1.50. You can take that same hijab, create content with that hijab, whether you're going to wear it, whether you're going to style it with a whole outfit, or whether you're just going to show them the product and how the fabric moves and not actually be in the videos yourself. That's not a problem. You don't have to be in the videos if you don't want to. You can actually get really creative with the content. You can use mannequins, you can fold the hijabs in a very creative way, and so on. In terms of pricing for arbitrage, if you bought something from a market or a shop where it's unbranded, because they've already added a markup for that product for retail, you usually can't get away with more than doubling that amount. So let's say you bought your hijab for £3. If you just double that and sell it for £6 plus the shipping fee, you've just made double. And if you do a good job with marketing through videos and pictures and typing up really good descriptions, you get to like 1,000 a week very quickly. And again, just make sure to put that money aside and not spend it. Now, unfortunately, starting with a very little bit of money, this model would be best if you are local to certain suppliers and you can just purchase these products. You can of course order things online, but then that just causes delays, and usually you have to pay shipping fees, and then you have to add that into your final product cost, which you give to your customers. So ordering online is not ideal unless you're buying in bulk. But buying in bulk is something I'm going to talk about in my next video, so make sure you check that out. Now, to help you get started, I've put together a list of ideas that you could use for Instagram and TikTok to help you get your product out there. The list is linked under this video. Now, to encourage you to take action and take your business seriously, I've created a community of sisters that are just like you, trying to start a business from scratch. But you can only enter that community if you can show me some proof of you putting in the work. Just DM me on Instagram, show me your befores and afters, and show me what you've been able to do, inshallah, and I'll add you into the community. And don't forget to save your money so that you can take your business to the next level by buying bulk. I wish you all the best. Assalamu alaikum.